this video, a YouTuber has been sent a product to test and review. If you are prone to sudden bursts of outrage, internet arguments, or have a self-made listing on IMDb, this content may be harmful to you. Consult your doctor before watching and proceed with caution. Trust nothing this person has to say, as they have clearly been bought out by a company and just want to make sales off of you on their path to becoming a billionaire. Commencing white background stereotypical YouTuber in 3, 2, 1.
As most of you know, I don't really love taking a lot of equipment with me on most of my travels, whether it's on any kind of documentary work I do or just any normal kind of shoots. I do a lot of run and gun shoots, so I try to make all of my builds on my Blackmagic cameras and any other camera I use incredibly simple, easy to use and easy to set up, and pretty much that I can store as is and pull out and have ready to go in about 5 to 10 minutes. But today we're going to be talking about this monitor from Andycine, which I believe is how you say it, and whether or not you even need a monitor for your camera. So let's get into it. As always, we'd love to have you as part of the Frame Voyager community, whether that's on our Discord channel, link below, or on our YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all of our awesome content. Now let's get back to the video.
Initializing standard YouTube review song.
Inside this package is an Andycine C6 4K HDMI monitor, one battery charger, one mini HDMI cord, one micro HDMI cord, one carrying bag, and one tilt arm. Now on to the specifications. One interesting thing to note is that the 6-inch touchscreen is actually only 1920 by 1080 and outputs 4K footage through the HDMI input loop output. It has an ultra-bright 2600 nit screen, a custom 3D LUT monitor, and has 3D LUT all scopes features. Advanced features with 3D LUT, loadable, all scope mode, histogram, peaking focus, false color, audio level monitoring while you're shooting. It also comes with dual power input options with the battery plate on the back and built-in DC ports which accept 12-volt power adapters. And it has a DC 8.4 volt power port that will help to actually send power back to your camera. Also included on this is a vector scope, auto mirror, anamorphic mode, peaking filter, false color, ratio marker, embedded audio, check field, waveform, 3D LUT, histogram, pixel to pixel, image flip, zoom in, exposure, and grids. This camera monitor comes with a lot of interesting features. What are my honest thoughts on this camera monitor in general? And let's talk about the cons of this first, so we just get it out of the way and we can kind of end on a good note, because I do like this monitor, but there are a couple of things that I think you should know. There is a noticeable color difference between the monitor and the Pocket 6K Pro's in-camera monitor that I've been using this with. And yes, before you ask, I've actually updated the 6K Pro because I know about the blue tint screen issue and I have it properly calibrated.
The blue tint.
Now, is it really fair of me to compare this monitor to an actual reference monitor that has perfect color? No. I mean, as those are obviously way more expensive than this, but I wanted you to know that if you plan on buying this monitor, don't expect it to easily match what you see in your Blackmagic camera monitor, and don't expect it to be that kind of monitor for you. Not really a deal breaker when it comes to this price and what this monitor is. Now, the second con would be, and this is kind of Blackmagic specific, I would think, has a lot of built-in features like false color, focus peaking, audio monitoring, like all the stuff we had talked about previously in the specification section. I don't really trust external monitors like this to give me accurate readings as my actual camera does. I would only get to that point of trusting in a higher end monitor like an Atomos, like the higher end Atomos, not even the ones that you could buy around the same price as this. So again, it's not really this monitor's fault, but it's features in that, well, I think they're really cool and they're great to have. I wouldn't trust over my own camera's internal sensors and software. While this is Blackmagic specific, it could work well for other cameras that don't have some of these features like false color. Like back in the days when I used to use the Sony A7 III, would have actually liked to have something like this and used false color instead of having to trust what the camera tells you. Because sometimes what the Sony camera would tell you back in the day, the sensor wasn't telling you what it should have been. Something like this would have been nice to have. Okay, and now that we have some of these cons out of the way, let's get into some more positive things and talk about some of the pros of this and what really makes this monitor shine, in my opinion. Traveling light. The case for this monitor, I absolutely love the case for it. It's small, it's compact, everything can fit into a nice thing that I can put in a backpack if I'm going on a hike. I can throw into my suitcase. And for me, I do a lot of run and gun shoots, as you all know. I like to travel light. I don't like to have a bunch of stuff. So for me, this is perfect when I'm on the go and I'm trying to film things in like a hotel room or somewhere else, and I just need a quick reference monitor to see, like, if I'm just there filming and it's just me and I just need to see how the setup, and I'm not in a studio environment like this works great. It's perfect for it. It's small, it's easy to set up. Good to go. The other thing that's awesome about this is the HDMI in and the HDMI out. That's a feature that some other cameras or that some other camera monitors like the Atomos doesn't have in it. This actually does have a lot more inputs and outputs than some of its competitors. And that's what I do like about having the HDMI in and out, is that I can send another signal out. And I've done this in a situation before on a shoot where I had someone who had an overhead shot and they were doing things with their hands and they needed to see something, but I also was at a different area, so I wasn't in the shot and I needed to see an angle of it, and it worked great. And having that option to do that for something like an interview where you're by yourself and you need to be able to see two angles at once, this is perfect, as well as giving someone a confidence monitor or pushing it out for a client to be able to view. It's great. I think sharpness of the image minus the bit about the color matching in the screens is really good. I really do like it. It does help me be able to see things very clearly. There's some monitors that are around this price that I've used before that just, it's easier for me to just look at the monitor on my camera than it is like trying to see what it is, because it's just not, it doesn't have good quality to the image look itself. So this is helpful. I can see it. It's very detailed, very good screen in my opinion for the price. And also that gets us to the price point. While it is on the edge of, I would say, the budget camera monitors, I think it's worth it with some of the extra features you get, especially if you're not a Blackmagic user and you need some of those extra things like false color and all that. But having the additional HDMI out, having some of these power options to power some of the other things going on in your camera, the SD card, the touchscreen menu and stuff is really nice to have. It's one of those things that I think cheaper gear that we have, people tend to like, oh, you need something better. Oh, you need this or you need that on a production set. There are times where I would prefer to use something like this, that if it got messed up or, you know, I needed to do something that was a little bit risky, it is nice to have gear like this that A, works really well, can get you pretty close to what you would get with higher end gear, and something that you're not going to be afraid to break because it's kind of, you know, it's like a over $1,000 camera monitor. So the price for this is great, and for what you get for it in a production set, I think you would be fine. I plan to use this a lot now going forward, so I'm excited to use it, to continue to use it. You guys should definitely check it out. Now, as I always say, I always try to recommend products, and I kind of tell you things I like about them, things I don't like about them based on my experience and based on what I do. And not all of us are the same. So before you go and spend a bunch of money on this, make sure it's what you need. But if you have any questions about this or you think I missed anything on this, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Until next time, guys, this is John Owens with Frame Voyager.